name is Christina J. I'm a relationship, life purpose, confidence, and happiness life coach. And I have created this YouTube channel in hopes to help hurting, emotionally abused women to get back their power, courage, and confidence without feeling guilty and embrace their true happiness in finding their unique life's purpose. Today, my topic is, why do Christian women attract toxic men? Why do we attract a toxic partner or toxic people in our lives? Who we attract has a lot to do with who we are. It is easy to get upset by toxic people who may be present in our lives. If you are asking yourself how they got there to begin with, you may want to look at your own thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors as a source of that attraction. Women who are kind, forgiving, humble, positive, caring, pleasing others, putting others' needs first and theirs last, usually are the prey for a toxic, abusive partners or even friends. Toxic, abusive men will never seek a strong, confident, brave, outspoken, loving herself woman as their potential partner, because they know she will not tolerate his behavior. Our, as God-trusting woman, highest calling is to become more like Jesus and to be loving and caring, forgiving, empathetic, helping others. But we need to not let others use our goodness for their own advantage and trample all over us. Christ himself set us a good example, drawing a clear line of what he would tolerate and not being around people. He knew how to set those healthy boundaries. Today, I will talk about why we attract toxic people in our lives, and at the second part of my video, I will discuss the few changes we can make to disturb that pattern. So stay with me till the end. What is so attractive in you to a toxic or abusive partner? First of all, you are a pleaser. Driven by negative self-talk, you worry that you have no value unless you are doing something for someone. You think being a good person means never say no, and that doing everything for everyone is the way to make people happy. If you are a pleaser, toxic people come from miles away to take advantage of you. They see you as a good match for them because they know you will try your best to always please them. You will always say yes and rarely no to them. Number two, you are a fixer. You have a hard time leaving things alone. You think of yourself as a great problem solver, but that often means overstepping boundaries. You are always there to fix, to mend, to help. Toxic people find you attractive because they can take advantage of your good nature and your desire to help. They know even if they treated you not right, you will not be the one to step out of the relationship because you will want to fix it. You will not give up on you two or your relationship. Number three, you are a peacemaker. Well, God himself has called us to live in peace with others and be the peacemakers. But you can go far beyond what God intended for you and other people's good. If you think it is up to you to somehow make things work between others, it is up to you to fix the broken relationships. It is your business to always bring people back together after disagreements or conflicts so they could make peace. Well, you might be playing a wrong role. A toxic person takes huge advantage of that because he knows that you want to live in peace. Therefore, even when he is being emotionally or verbally abusive, you will be quiet just to keep that peace. Or when you see him being rude or disrespectful towards others, you will say nothing because you do not want to cause a conflict or an argument. So of course, When he sees you that you are a peacemaker, he takes that advantage of you. Well, number 4 is that you are a giver and a forgiver. If you are constantly the one who is giving and expecting nothing back, toxic people will take advantage of you. Again, Bible teaches us to give, to do good to people, as we did that to God himself, not expecting anything back. Nevertheless, there is a difference between healthy, balanced giving and giving yourself away to the point where you are exhausted or barely having any resources left to give away. Also, you are constantly forgiving to all those around you. And sure thing, we have to forgive others and do not carry grudge or resentment, but a toxic or abusive person will use that to his advantage. He thinks, well, around this woman, I can act out, treat her whatever way. Anyways, she will always forgive me. Number 5, you are too nice and too kind. I never thought you can be too nice or too kind. Being a Christian woman, you always aim to be a nice and kind person. Being too nice sounds like a good thing at first, until you realize that it is something toxic people love, because they can take advantage of it. That's what happens when you don't have those sufficient boundaries in place and people are able to walk all over you. Then you are becoming like a rug under their dirty feet. This isn't a positive trait. It's a sign that you have some learning and growing to do. It may also involve a belief in a goodness of all humankind. And that is totally me. I always have seen all people good. Well, today I realize that, yes, this positive thinking is so admirable, but unfortunately, among many good and wonderful people in this world, there are also some bad ones, the toxic people who want you to be too nice and too kind to them, because then they get into your life, they take advantage of you and slowly but surely rob you of your confidence, joy, and true happiness, making you feel worthless. Number 6, you have a low self-esteem. If you are feeling not good enough, not beautiful enough, not worthy enough, you have a low self-esteem. It might show up in your life as the form of guilt and like inner shame, that you don't deserve to be where you are right now. You do not deserve anything good. You do everything you can to show you are smart enough, good enough, and lovable. And toxic people are quick to use your insecurity to their own advantage. They make you believe that they are the best thing that ever happened in your life. You cannot leave them even when they mistreat you, because you will not be good enough for anyone else. Number 7, you are a perfectionist. When you pride yourself on being a perfectionist, you are sending the message that you will do anything to keep from letting someone else down. You want to be a perfect mom, a perfect wife, a perfect sister, a perfect Christian woman, and you will do all things possible to make your relationship work, to be perfect. While toxic people are quick to manipulate you into doing all kinds of things in the name of that perfection. And we should not aim for perfection. We should aim for excellence in our lives, and that's 2 different things. Number 8, you are shining the positivity. Toxic people live in the dark world with no light at the end of the tunnel whatsoever. Your bright, positive light attracts them, and they find themselves getting closer to you. As you get to know them, you realize that no matter how positive you may be, they somehow manage to remain sad and disillusioned deep inside, and none of your positivity rubs off on them. In fact, they grudge you for being happy. And toxic people will only have toxic relationships, and they will have something sad and negative to say all the time. Well, in the beginning, it might not bother you that much, but you start to get frustrated or even drained out. And if you continue being with them and let them be the way they are, toxic people can drain that positivity out of you. Number 9, you are very honest. Toxic people usually are dishonest, and they are liars and smooth talkers. Since you do not lie, you do not expect people to lie to you too. You take people for their face value, and this is what the toxic partners hang on to. Toxic people are typically unhappy with themselves and therefore look to others for the validation. They know they can lie and get away with it. Of course, the blame is always on you. What they are actually doing is they are using your honesty, your openness against you. And for toxic people, the honest ones are easier targets to be manipulated. Number 10, you are a compassionate person. You have type of a bleeding heart, empathy for every living, breathing thing on this earth, and that also includes the toxic people. That is exactly what they look for. A fool to listen to their poor me stories, and they thrive on it. They take advantage of your compassionate heart and feed on it, always coming back for more. Toxic people love playing victim. The entire world is against them, and the poor souls are being victimized, and you are so attractive to them because you are that compassionate soul. You want to help, to encourage, to support, to give, to forgive, give another try. You will never leave, never forsake them. And of course, that is the best match for them. 11, you are a good listener. It is hard to find good listeners nowadays. Who has the time? Well, you do. You are offering a listening ear to others, and toxic men are noticing that in you. Toxic people take it to the next level though. They will talk to you for hours when they can get away with it. They will ignore every body language and verbal hint you throw at them. They will continue talking. They will share the details about their life every time they see you, but they are certainly not interested in what you have to say, because they are only interested in seeing and hearing things their way. And toxic people are very self-absorbed, and their conversations are about themselves most of the time and how badly life has treated them. And you end up feeling guilty for being happy, for not making them somehow happier and more positive. And you continue listening to them and ready to do that the rest of your life because you do care. Definitely, a toxic man will be more than happy to have you by their side. And number 12, you are too generous with your time and everything else. You are just too generous person. Generosity, again, is a Christian value. It's a positive trait, and God wants us to be generous. Being generous with your time means you make time for others and are willing to sacrifice some of your time, some of your free time, or even busy time. And then you think people are going to appreciate how much you do. And well, most of them do. They do appreciate, and they will appreciate. Unfortunately, there will always be people who seek to take advantage of your generosity. And toxic people are naturally drawn to those who they can use. And your generosity can be used against you by the wrong people. So these were the 12 traits that are attractive to toxic men, attractive to toxic people. Well, when I was studying and creating the list of those positive traits that we as Christian women have, I understood even deeper how appealing all these character traits are to the toxic and abusive men or toxic people in general. Well, to be honest with you, I have all those traits in me, and I have been carrying them within for the most part of my life. I grew up knowing that God wants me to be kind and good and caring and helping others person. I gave my heart to Jesus in my young adult years, and I always had a strong belief that you need to be good to all people around, even to those that are treating you poorly. You always need to give and forgive and never ask back. And I must admit, I pulled towards myself many people who would take advantage of me, and also ended up in quite few toxic relationships because of who I am or who I was. And does it mean I have to stop being kind, honest, caring, forgiving, generous, so I will not attract toxic people in my life? If the answer is yes, then basically I cannot be a follower of Christ, because he wants me to have all those good traits within and yet get more and more like him, more loving, more caring, more giving. What shall I do then? What shall you do if you are attracting toxic men and toxic people in your life by being too good and too kind? Well, I will just list a few things here that you can do. Give negative individuals less power over your emotions, time, and happiness. Number one, what you can do, stop being a people pleaser. Instead, be a God pleaser. As I mentioned earlier, one of my character strengths is that I'm extremely sincere and giving and compassionate. But my sincerity and compassion at times can become people pleasing. I have realized that I sometimes was quick to appease people who have been even rude and mean and pushy, just so they will like me, just so I could demonstrate a good Christian character. By doing so, I have allowed these people to enter my life and subject me to their toxic behavior. I eventually learned to find my boundaries and say no without losing myself in the process. And I became aware of how people might try to use my character strengths to their own advantage. And I understood that I need to be an authentic me and be not a people pleaser. But in all I do, I'd rather please God. This awareness has helped me ward off many toxic relationships, and therefore I encourage you too to stop pleasing others and please God instead. Number two, understand that you are not broken. Understand you are worthy of love and respect, and know your true value. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you, and you deserve better than to be stuck in this pattern of attracting toxic people or staying with them in the relationships forever. Build up your inner core, inner strength. Every day pause and remind yourself that you are lovable, you are valuable, you are indeed, because God loves you with no strings attached. As you understand God's love for you, you will be able to stop shaming yourself, judging yourself, and feeling worthless. You will be strong and courageous, woman with integrity. As soon as you realize your true value, your worth, restore self-esteem, you will be able to repel toxic people much more easily. Number three, learn to love and prioritize yourself. When you spend your whole life being too humble and selfless, it's hard to view prioritizing yourself as a positive trait, because you think, oh my goodness, that is selfish. You must learn to look after yourself though, love yourself and prioritize yourself a lot of the time. That was something new for me, for sure. A healthy love for yourself is critical, and I realize that now. You need to learn to extend God's love for you towards yourself. Get your self-esteem up to healthy levels. Practice positive thinking and affirmations. Be grateful for your opportunities and abilities. Toxic people will be repelled by your evident care for yourself, as then they cannot take advantage of you. And number four, boundaries. Boundaries, they're so important. Set those healthy boundaries. Stick to them. Respect other people's rights to live their own life and make their own mistakes, but it is very important to draw a line between what you will tolerate and what you will not, to set healthy boundaries. You shouldn't put up with abuse, toxicity, and negativity for the sake of helping those who have wronged you in their journey to self-improvement. Ultimately, you cannot fix others. You cannot change others. They are the only people who can fix themselves. At the end of the day, setting clear boundaries that put your safety and comfort first is the absolute best way to get rid of toxic people in your life. Toxic individuals hate boundaries that are properly enforced because it deprives them of the ability to be toxic to you. Toxic men do not like strong women with clear boundaries. Well, even though your positive traits may attract toxic people, do not let this stop you from being who you are. A kind and loving, compassionate, forgiving, and caring daughter of God. Just be aware of this reality so you can spot danger when it arises and take positive protective measures, starting even with the ones that I shared with you earlier. Also consider that your positive gifts, positive character traits have the power to transform negativity. Just as the light will dispel darkness, your light can be shining example to those who might not be even realizing their toxic tendencies. Well, be strong and courageous. Be a woman with an integrity, the one who knows how to set healthy boundaries, to communicate assertively, is able to love herself and to understand her true value. And toxic men will not see you as their prey. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and kindness. Check my previous videos about Christian women in the abusive relationships, red flags, and your partner's reaction when you ask for a change. If you like the content of my videos and find them useful, please like and subscribe and help this my channel grow. Well, take care, and I see you next time. Bye for now.